Hello, my favorite community in the world. By golly, you keep providing. We asked and you delivered, and again, it was like a drive-through. People just kept coming and bringing and donating. They still are. We are packed full here at the shed. In fact, we have so much. We're going to take some and deliver to our other locations in Pueblo. Because they didn't have any ramen noodles at all. The granola bars, they were totally out. So we're sharing that with them. So the volunteers are able to go there instead of drive all the way out to Pueblo West. So thank you. Gosh, it almost brings me to tears. It just seeing the people respond like they did is just crazy good. Just crazy, crazy good. I love it. Love you. Thank you. Another thing I'm trying to do is we have two locations in Pueblo, the city of Pueblo, and so I already got permission. They're okay with people dropping things off there. Here's the thing: I'm located in Pueblo West. 95% of the donations dropped off are from the community of Pueblo West, and I want to get the city of Pueblo more involved because 95% of the food goes to Pueblo, the city of Pueblo. And how do I put this right? People, I know there's donations going directly into the blessing boxes in Pueblo. I just don't know how much is being donated from the city of Pueblo. If you live in the city of Pueblo, you work in the city of Pueblo, we ask you to help out. When I started, let's say about a year ago, about 4 to 6 months after it started, I was trying to find up and running blessing boxes, and I came upon the belly boxes, just a big white box. You could drive right, most people drove right by. I went and looked in it, and it was empty. It was heartbreaking. This big box, practically in the center of downtown Pueblo, empty. All the businesses there, how do I put it? People who are able to give, all the people who were able to give weren't giving. That was my point of view at that time. An empty box just broke my heart, and so I wrote a long spiel about it and fill the box, blah, blah, blah. And once people found out where it was, and even when they found out where it was, sometimes they couldn't recognize it because they just drove by because this is a big white box. And so some people called me a spark at that moment when I called people out on that. And the Art Alliance painted the belly box. It was beautiful. They did a wonderful job. So you drove it was one time it was located on Civic Center Drive and Grand. And, again, people were driving by. But when they painted that thing up, people knew exactly where it was. People were starting to fill that box. And so it grew from there. And we took possession of the box. We relocated it for certain reasons I'm not going to get into. But I'm trying to get more people involved. And if we have a drop, if you can't drop off at a blessing box, donated blessing box, perhaps you can drop off at these two locations. They have plenty of room. I have a shed, and they actually have more room than I do to store food, and it enables the volunteers to just stay in that location and do what they want to do instead of driving all the way out to Pueblo West. So once I get the information, necessary information, where to drop off on the property and the address, I'll post that on the Facebook site, and hopefully we get a good response, and perhaps we'll do a food drive at those locations so we can get more of the people of Pueblo to donate there along with to the blessing boxes. Again, as I said before, I gauge donations by what comes through here and what I hear from the other two locations. So and it's not really a fair judgment. You know, we saw improvement at the blessing boxes at that point. And then like 2 to 3 months ago, you know, when the economy just started to take a dump, and, you know, middle class people are even struggling now. I mean, as small as we are now, we're shrinking. We're falling below towards that poverty level. You know, there's a need, and I see it in my blessing box, and you know, it gets emptied about 3 times a week, and it's heartbreaking, but it's satisfying at the same time because we know we're feeding people. And I've had a couple of young ladies come, and I invite them into the shed and just go shopping. You know, it's like a little free grocery store. Boy, I would love to do one of those. I would, if I had the opportunity of a large warehouse. This is what I do. And there's large organizations, well, there's Care Share, they kind of do that, but they don't have and there is a free pantry, free grocery store on the east side, and that's a good place for it, and thank God they're there, because they're doing a marvelous work. They're just, again, struggling with volunteers, which brings me to another thing. We are short a couple of volunteers, and we are limited how much food we deliver by the amount of volunteers we have, and it's unfair to put the burden on the volunteers we have. Gas prices, I mean, they haven't made a peep about gas prices or anything, and it's remarkable. I mean, they just keep coming and moving the food where it needs to go, despite the price of gases, despite what it costs them. And again, they're volunteers. They're sacrificing their time of day from their family, from their jobs, and helping feed the people. So I appreciate that. I don't have an answer to how to compensate for them, because, I mean, basically, I offer them whatever food we have here. They're welcome to take of it. Even some of our volunteers that are struggling refuse to take the food because they say, I don't want to take food out of mouths of other people. And God, it's just emotional to me. I mean, gosh, I want to hug my volunteers so much. I want to hug my donors every time they come here. You know, I get wonderful remarks on the Facebook site, the nextdoor.com site. It's pretty emotional for me to hear the stories, and people just want to give. They just want to help. So that's that. I just want to come back and say thank you, because God, you always come through. You always come through. You know, it's nuts. I got some, you know, you can see behind me, I got stacked. You know, I got some over here. I got some in the house that I don't have room in here for. And I got bottled water stacking up here, and I got bottled water in the truck. I got to get in here before it gets too hot. And so I'm able to share this with the other locations. Unfortunately, when I asked for help, all the moving of the donations into the shed, I don't want to say I blew out my knee, but I aggravated my knee and it swelled up. I could barely walk. Pinched the nerve in my back. You know, I'm going on 69. My abilities this year is far less than last year, and it's just going to get worse. But I'm not going to sit here and whine about that. Old age is not for wimps. And I used to tease my dad because we go play racquetball or handball, and his knee would swell up and get water on the knee, and I could, come on, old man, don't let a little knee pain hurt you. I'm worse off than my dad. So great respect to people my age and older, because it's not easy. It's not easy. Let me read some of the remarks here. Just so I don't miss him. Bashar, you're such a blessing. Oh gosh. You know, this isn't about me. This is not about me. I just had an idea, and volunteers jumped on board, and they're the ones that make the difference. I mean, we're able to fill a lot of the boxes. We can't fill all the boxes, you know, and that's, I wish I could. I wish we could. It's just we need more food coming in. And, Frank, we're running out of room to put it. So I don't know what the next step is. We got 2 other locations. I just asked one of them if they're open to storing food in their place. So, and they're good with that. So maybe that is the next step for us. So if we can get food coming into those 2 locations, and plus, the people of Pueblo helping out at the blessing boxes. And I want to expand on that. My original plan was just to build my blessing box, and that was it. And it grew from there, obviously. But my intent, not only to inspire people to give and be part of the movement, is to inspire the community to be part of the movement. It would be nice that these blessing boxes will be sponsored or just plain filled by those in the neighborhood. That was one of the requirements I asked when I donated most of these blessing boxes, is go to your neighbors and ask them to be part of this, to help fill the boxes. And understandably, a lot of them are unable to. A lot of them have to go to the boxes. It's just that world now. So again, I ask the people who are able to do so, those people who are able to be part of the movement, those people who are able to sponsor a box, or knock on your neighbor's doors, build that little community to support a blessing box. And that's why these last couple of blessing boxes, we preferred churches or organizations, because those are groups of people, who want to do good things for the community. So that's my intent, why I wanted a church or an organization, and so they can help us. It takes a little stress off of us, knowing that, okay, they can handle that, so we can fill other boxes that we weren't able to fill before. So again, we're a couple volunteers short. The Facebook messaging things, I'm losing people. I know I lost a couple volunteers because they asked to be part of it, and I can't find them. So I'm pleading, if you're interested in being a volunteer, to email us. That's the only way I can keep track. Pueblo County Blessing Boxes at gmail.com. If you're interested in volunteering, go there and let us know you're interested. Because it's just, there's so much traffic on Facebook, I can't keep track. And I apologize to those that I missed. And so I think that's it. I got to bring in some more bottled water from the truck, and I got to finish my chicken coop. Those poor chickens are cooped up in a little chicken coop, and it's not good for them. And happy chickens lay happy eggs. Anyway, let me read what else you have here. Oh, looks like that's one of our volunteers coming to get food. All right, I'm going to let you go so she can get to work. So God bless everybody, and thank you to the donors. Good job. Keep it coming. We're pretty much packed on ramen noodles, but chili, stew, canned meats, soup, granola bars, or something else I can't think of right now. But thank you. Keep it coming. God bless. Bye-bye.